Hey guys, Jay Shrek here, and I am back with another video. Today, I wanted to do my first video of a new series that I'm probably going to be covering a lot on this channel, just to help fill in some space in other videos and stuff that I don't necessarily have for you guys all the time when it comes to new albums, new movies and such. And I just want to put out a video for you guys. And this is what I call a look back in time series, where I take an older album and I talk about the album. I break it down by song, each song specifically. I talk about each song, what I like about each song, if I like it, what I don't like about each song, if I don't like it or not, and on throughout the entire album. And then by the end of talking about each individual track on the album, I will talk about how well it holds up, my replay factor of said album, and just give my overall thoughts right at the end, and what my rating would be, almost kind of like what I typically do. Except on a lot of the other albums, I don't talk about necessarily every single song like I'm going to be doing on these A Look Back in Time reviews. So, in today's episode, I am going to be talking about the second studio album by alternative pop, rock, pop, punk group, the All American Rejects, and titled Move Along. And I can definitely tell you this was one of the first albums I've ever had, and definitely has a place in my heart in just musical and just music in general. It still has that nostalgic place, and just looking back at it, I can definitely almost always just feel just that nostalgia just listening to it, having that feeling of reliving the 2000s and mid-2000s, just because the All American Rejects and this album specifically were a pretty big staple back in the 2000s. This album generated 3 major songs that really kept them on like that chart. I'm not saying their first album, their self-titled album with the song like Swing Swing didn't get it anywhere, because that did, but I feel like this album is the album that most people remember when people hear the All American Rejects. And I can definitely say that just those 3 songs just are real big standouts within their discography, being all the songs from like Move Along, Dirty Little Secret, and It Ends Tonight. Those were the 3 major songs that really put them in the place of like just where they were, and really continued that developing pop punk / alternative genre that was just staying in the mainstream at that time, and really kept that moving throughout the remainder of the 2000s, which was a really good thing, because this album and those 3 songs in general really just fit that time frame just so well, just where pop punk was going. Everything about the album just in general overall is very much a very pop punk album to begin with, because just like their previous album, I'm not saying it wasn't pop punk, but and some of their other albums focused more on some of the more alternative and rockier elements, while this album really focused on just that pop punk style in general, especially on songs like I said already, Dirty Little Secret, on like Move Along, even on other songs like Night Drive, 11 p.m., so on and so forth. Just so much pop punk infused, a lot more so on this album than on any of their other albums, and that just really shines throughout this album, very much so. Now I want to start talking about each track individually. The first song on the album, starting off with their second single from the album, Dirty Little Secret. This song, well, I remember when I first heard this song, for some reason I fell in love with this song almost the first time I heard it, and I really enjoyed it for some odd reason, because a lot of people, when they first heard the song, thought it was just such a cheesy, weird, mainstream pop punk song, and just a lot of people didn't really care for it, and it didn't grasp onto them so quickly, unlike how it did with me. And just definitely the meaning and everything behind it is definitely just very unique concept in general. Just the fact that finding out about like someone's secret, promising to keep it and everything, just that it's dirty, and just that word, the words dirty little secret, just sounds so cheesy to begin with. But that's one thing that American Rejects have always been good at doing, being able to take those cheesy things and using just enough of those cheesy words and making it so catchy and actually pretty damn good song and everything from that cheesiness. And they really almost embraced it a lot on some of these songs, even on Gives You Hell later on their following up album, and just how they really do it and they play it off, especially with Tyson's voice. It really works very well. And just Dirty Little Secret in general, it's still quite a jam. It's still very catchy. It's a very easy song to just sing along to, and just has that so much nostalgia just of the mid-2000s, which is great. And I still love this song, but not as much as some of the other songs on the album. Now, coming in at track number 2, we have Stand My Back. Now, when I did get this album back in 2006, I got it for Christmas, and when I was listening through, Stand My Back was the second song that I've heard off of the album. And just this song in general, it didn't really grasp me right away and everything. But over the years, with more listens, especially within this past week when I was re-listening through the album, and just being the fact that I was just in the mood for the album, and I was debating or not whether doing this video on this album to begin with. Just this song just really has grown on me a lot more, and just Tyson's voice just throughout the song just works in a very well way, especially during those verses and leading into that really almost in-your-face chorus. It's just very interesting and very intriguing. That definitely brings me coming back to this song a lot more than I initially thought I would be, back in the day. And we definitely hear a lot of good guitars and everything throughout this song, and it all sounds very well developed, very well produced. And that's one thing that just this whole album in general, it was a very well produced album. Now, coming in at track number 3, we have I believe it was their first single, Move Along. And Move Along, I remember the first time I ever heard this song, I didn't even know it was the All American Rejects at the time. It was actually in a Bionicle commercial. I don't know if you remember what those Bionicles were. I believe they were a Lego brand, something or other, Connects, one of the two. They were little almost looked like little robots that you build and everything, but either way, I remember hearing the song in the commercial, and I thought it was just a huge song, and it made it sound so kind of dramatic and epic sounding within that commercial. And just because of that and everything, I fell in love with the song. And then when I heard it, when I was listening through the album, I'm like, oh, so this is the All American Rejects, and I really love this song. I still go back and listen to this song. It's just one of those songs that is just very relatable in a sense, and just kind of just very motivational in general to keep moving along, even when times get rough and everything. Just move along and everything. It's very straightforward like that, and just how Tyson Ritter's voice and everything just really belching out those vocals and everything throughout the chorus, and when it does sound epic, especially leading after that second chorus, and where you hear all that like big guitar or the big drums, and where it slows down and everything, and building up to the huge finale at the end and everything. It's just a fantastic and anthemic song, and this song I feel like should go down in history as one of the All American Rejects' best songs that they've ever written, produced, everything. Following right after Move On, we get I believe it was their last main single on the album, which was It Ends Tonight. This song I still feel is a little cheesy and a little just still not as I'm still not like super big on this song. It's just one of those songs it's a nice calming song and everything. You still get those really strong vocals from Tyson throughout the song, and just a lot of that you hear the piano in the background and everything. It's just very good sounding song, and it's one of those songs that is just whenever you just want something where you feel like something is just feeling not right or something and things are coming to an end. It's one of those songs that's just a good song to listen to. But otherwise, it's not one of my favorites, but it still is a pretty good song overall. Coming right out of that, we get Change Your Mind. And I remember back in the day, I really enjoyed this song back then, and I still think it's pretty good now. And it's one of those songs that it's just kind of just an average pop-up song. And the lyrics aren't necessarily the strongest. It's just kind of like a little predictable about just how everything comes across, but Tyson does sound good throughout. You get that really unique kind of like opening tune and everything right in the beginning that drags you in and makes you have a fun time throughout the song. So like you're still having fun throughout the song because it's just a very fun sounding song to begin with, but it's really nothing like all that special. It's still a good song, but it's nothing special. Coming right out of that, we get one of my favorite songs on the album, actually, Night Drive. This song is definitely a banger of a song. It's something alright. It's pop punk at its best in this song. And that opening guitar leading into everything, Nick Wheeler is rocking out throughout. He's awesome. Everything is great about just the instrumentation and everything throughout the song, especially during that bridge and everything where you hear a lot of that, almost like that car sounds and everything throughout. That's just very interesting, and Tyson's voice and everything really shines through on this song. There's a lot that's really good about this song, and I still love coming back to the song. Hell of a lot. It's a really good time, and definitely a song that I will never skip, ever. Coming out of that, we get the song 11:11 p.m. And this song is just one of those kind of like cheesy pop songs again, kind of like Change Your Mind was a little bit. It's one of those that's enjoyable, it's fun, but the concept behind it is just a little cheesy here and there. Although I do, in general, get and understand like the concept and just not 11:11 time and everything. It's the time to change mistakes. It's make that wish and everything. Things are gonna change. Things are gonna be different type of thing. So like, it's a pretty cool, interesting concept and everything throughout the song, and it's a fun time, but it's nothing all that special still. It's it's an overall fun song. But coming from that, we get what was probably one of my old favorite songs on the album, Dance Inside. Dance Inside is a really, really good song still. Like, I wouldn't call it one of my favorites anymore. I used to, but I do love that opening guitar, how just soft and soothing and everything. It starts off with Tyson and everything, start off with like a smoother voice, lead and straight into like a much stronger, really bellowing out voice and everything. Just how that works and everything with all the instrumentation. I love the instrumentation on this song. It works very well. It was very well produced, very well executed throughout. The lyrics are a little cheesy, but I love the instrumentation on this track, which makes me come back to it a lot, which is one thing that's really good just in general about the album. It's just the instrumentation, the ability to just drag you in with that good instrumentation and make you have fun with the song, even if like the lyrics aren't necessarily all that complex or all that interesting. You're still very drawn in just from the music itself, and which is definitely the strongest part of this album in general. Coming right out of Dance Inside, we get Top of the World, and this song is a very, very well written, just overall pop punk song. I love this song still. I still enjoy it to this day. There's not a whole lot to say about this song, except it's just one of those songs that if you are a big pop punk fan, you're gonna like this song a lot. And definitely a song that I won't ever be skipped. Coming right after Top of the World, we get Straitjacket Feeling, another slow tune on this album. It's a very very mellow song, but at the same time it's just very interesting, just almost as if like this whole song in general is pretty much Tyson pretty much the way the title and everything is just he's calling himself kind of like crazy in a sense. Like, it's a very interesting way of saying pretty much that he's crazy, like in love or into this person or whatever, that this girl or whatever that he's interested in and everything. And that's pretty much the whole message of the song, and just him saying that he's fine without her, but at the same time just he wishes he could kind of like run away with her, and he's just so crazy for her and everything. It's just so a little bit over the top and almost trying to be anthemic at times and everything, but that part doesn't really work and wasn't executed super well at times, but it's still a very good, enjoyable track in general. And I still come back to this song. I can hardly skip any songs on this album. But coming right out of that, we get one of the songs that I used to be able to skip very easily, and didn't really used to care for that much. And that track is called Waiting. And this song is definitely something that has had to grow on me a lot over time with more listens. It's just one of those songs that's just very interesting. It's what, like I said, on like Top of the World and on like Night Drive, it's a very pop punk sounding song, very much so. And you really get that good atmosphere of this song. You get that good feeling that the album is actually coming to a close now, pretty soon. And it's just one of those pretty enjoyable songs. You get a lot of those good guitars and riffs and everything from Nick Wheeler. Tyson's voice really sounds good on this track. There's a lot to be enjoyed on this song, and definitely I'm trying to listen to it a lot more than some of the other songs on the album, just because I'm trying to really get that good feeling of this song even more so. Now, to end this album, we have the song can't take it. And this song is definitely the most alternative, weird, like drawn out song on the album. It almost doesn't fit with the album, but at the same time it does. Like lyrically, it fits well, and just the instrumentation is just so uniquely different and everything that it's just, you're just super drawn into it. And the minute you hear Tyson's voice come in, you just can't stop listening, and you can really tell that whatever is going on and everything, that you really just can't take what's going on anymore. And just leading into, I love that transition from just the main style leading into that bridge with the piano in the background and everything. It just sounds very unique, very interesting, and I'm always just so intrigued by this song, just how different the song is compared to a lot of the rest of the album. And it's very encompassing as a whole and everything, just very well executed. Just it blew my mind the first time I heard it, just how just out of place, but at the same time in place it feels on the album. Now that's all of the tracks on the album. Now, how do I feel? Does this album hold up? I definitely think that it holds up. It doesn't hold up like as well as like some albums from like the mid 2000s, but it definitely has a pretty good replay factor, and it's definitely a good time. Definitely really hits that nostalgia like right in the heart and everything, really reminiscent of my middle school days, and just how I felt listening just through this album all the time. And it's just an album in general that is really hard to not come back to, especially by the All-American Rejects. It's pretty much almost everybody's go-to album when they think all of the All-American Rejects. And to end this, I want to give this album a rating, and I definitely would give this album a solid 8 out of 10. Definitely an 8 out of 10. Like, the album has its moments where it really shines through within some of these tracks, but then there are some of those duller moments that just are fun but not great. And it's really hard these days to even find a really great album with every single track being just absolutely amazing. It really is, especially when you are a little more critical. If you're in love with a band or whatever, and you're so dedicated to just loving everything by that band, you're gonna be so convinced in your head that every single song is amazing anyways. So that's how just a lot of people are these days, just being so in love with everything by a band that they have a hard time seeing anything wrong with any albums or anything. But that's a topic for a different time, which I may actually talk about. But until then, just a reminder once again, don't forget to subscribe, click that like button, comment what you think about this album. Do you think I was too harsh on this album? Do you think that it deserves a higher rating? Whatever, let me know in that comment section. And if you want another album review, click that link right below me, and I will see you guys in the next video.